guys, Manny and Rolly here from Memories Not Money. We thought we'd just do a little vid today for those of you who are new going out to the Big Red Bash and may not know what to expect or where to start or what to pack. So we're just going to go through a few things just to give you a bit more of an idea of what it's like sort of out there and what you need to take and all the rest of it. So there's a lot to cover really, so we'll try and keep it as short as we can, but if we don't cover something you want to know, just ask us, like just put the question in there and we'll answer it, no worries at all. But I guess maybe we could start with car prep.
Yeah.
So that's you, Rolly?
So yeah, normally I do a service on the car as close to the leaving point, but not too close, sort of a week out, so it's all done fresh. But then you can still drive around if there's any other issues that you come up with. You've got a bit of time up your sleeve to rectify it. But yeah, I normally just go right over everything and make sure everything's as in good order as it should be, including tyres. Check the tread on your tyres, because we do over, I think we do nearly 5,000 k's out and back, so you're going to put a bit of wear on them. So if you're right on the edge of having to replace your tyres, I'd suggest probably do it beforehand or take a couple of good spares with you at least. But yeah, I just go over the car, make sure everything's good underneath, and
back window?
Yeah, if you've got a wagon, cover your back window with a bit of core fluid or yoga mat. If you're towing a trailer, because rocks do bounce off and smash, and we smashed a rock in our Hilux canopy window once, so it's always a good idea to do that. And also just make sure things like your roof rack's tight, and you work out what spares you need for your car and just have a few of them. Like I take a spare oil filter, air filter, and I take 2 spare fuel filters, and then I've got a selection of bolts, fuses, bits of wire, all different things that are relevant to my vehicle. So yeah, just check with what you need for your vehicle, and yeah, should be right. Then same thing with your van. I always do wheel bearings, adjust brakes, and give them a good look underneath, make sure everything's fine. Rock prep, if you're doing a lot of dirt road, I cover all my electrics and water pipes with pool noodles. Zip tie them on. I use steel zip ties. Yeah, they just, plastic ones do tend to get old and break, or a rock will hit them and they can break. So yeah, I tend to use the steel zip ties, but tyre wire, plastic ones are fine if you put a lot on. You're not going to break them all at once, so yeah. And also on the gas pipes, cover them up as well. I run a little bit of a skirt in front of my suspension that also deflects the rocks away from my shockies, and we also use a stone stomper on the back of the car between the car and the van, which keeps the rocks down low and helps, same with that back window protection. I also carry spares of water pipe fittings for the van, tees, joiners, a couple of short bits of hose and some soft hose, and all the fuses that are relevant to that style of van. So yeah.
And probably sticking with the car theme, maybe fuel consumption now, like knowing your car and how far it can go.
Yeah, because it is
once you get
distances
out there
between servos. So yeah, you need to know what your outfit is doing, like fuel consumption wise. So with your van hooked up with your trailer you're taking, or no trailer, whatever you're doing, know what your range is and carry spare fuel, because sometimes the servos run out.
That many people going out there, they can't keep up, but they're getting better every year. Like they're bringing more fuel in, like it's been getting better. You're going to have the lines, you can't avoid that unless you want to cart all your own fuel out there. You can't afford the line, like you can't get away from having to line up in those big lines. Like, yeah.
I'd still carry spare fuel, even if it's just a 20 litre jerry, because you never know, you might cop a rock on a fuel line and split it or something like that. And you've at least you got that 20 litres to get you out of trouble, or to help somebody else out on the side of the road that might not have the same knowledge and runs out of fuel. So yeah, do that. And, yeah, if you know your range, you sort of know when the next servo is, if you're going to make it or not. If the last servo run out of fuel. But also, I never drive past the servo, regardless of how full we are. We might only use a quarter of a tank. I'll fill up if they've got fuel. I'll stop, fill up, because that way you're always full.
You don't have to stress about that then.
And it's expensive. You know, you're not going to save heaps of dollars by going to the next servo or whatever. It's all relevant pricing to get fuel out there. It's remote, so it is what it is, I think. And
it's all about supporting them on the way out there. Like this is one of their biggest money makers, so yeah, it's nice just to know that you're helping them out. Because a lot of the time, the rest of the time of the year, they don't get much traffic out there. So
by supporting them, it means that they're going to stay viable with their business and be there in the future. So if they're not making money and making it viable for them to keep the doors open, eventually they'll shut the doors, and it'll be even further between servos. So
I don't know, maybe water next?
Yeah, well, water is quite easy. With us, we've got a couple of water tanks on our van and a water tank in the back of the car. So I just make sure they're full when we leave home. But there's water all the way out there. All the little towns, they're all caravan friendly now, so you can fill up. We try to avoid filling up in places like Winton because it's bore water, which is very sulphury and it's got a smell.
Is it Booyah? Booyah has really nice
has
water.
good bore water. Birdsville has good bore water. So yeah, and there's hoses up the street or taps up the streets, which are quite easy, accessible to fill up. And same thing, when you get to Birdsville, you'll find that there's taps everywhere that's easy to go fill up. There is sometimes a fair line because, you know, there's 10,000 people out there this time of year. So, but be patient, be courteous.
There's going to be a line for everything you're going to find, so you just got to be patient.
And we take a water bladder or a couple of jerry cans to, so when we get to Birdsville, we'll fuel up and try and top our vans back up with water and then go find our camp in the common. And then we've got a water bladder that we can, you know, ferry water back through to top up the van for that period of time before we head out to the bash to make sure everything's all chock-a-block full again.
Right, and I guess once you get to the bash, you will know what day you're heading out, whether you have a 2-day early pass, 1-day early pass, or you have like the general admission pass for the first day of the bash. So you obviously have to pick up your tickets before you go out there, so you have to be organised of what day you want to get out there to be able to pick up your tickets. Same thing, there may be a line. Just be patient. Once you've got your tickets, you do all your prep to head out there. So if you've got a van, go do your toilet drop, fill up with water. We've already talked about all that. You have to take all your own alcohol out there. They don't actually have a bar at the bash itself. You can buy alcohol from the Birdsville pub, but of course it is quite expensive. Rolly and I sort of have a tradition. We like to buy a carton of beer from the pub every year. I know they've got a lot of people out there and they're probably pulling a lot of money over the bar, but I like to do that in little country pubs. Go pick up a carton of beer or two just to support them, say thank you, because
the local businesses.
How nice is it going into a country pub and having a schooner or two? It's pretty good, eh? So you want to make sure they're still there. Not that Birdsville will shut down anytime soon, that's for sure. But yeah, so back to what we were saying, going out there. Yeah, make sure you know when you've got to pick up your tickets and things to head out there. Have all your alcohol ready. There's plenty of food out there. There's food vendors. They do cater for things like gluten-free and things like that. So Rolly and I usually we take our own sort of breakfast, a couple of lunches and a couple of dinners, and then we'll eat either lunch or dinner depending on what we're doing that day at the food vendors.
Yeah, we'll try and buy one meal a day.
Yeah, just to support
at least through the vendors out there, because they've done the same as what we have, driving out there on the roads. You know, it's not easy for them. They've had to pay the same price for the fuel. So yeah, we like to support them, and yeah, we normally buy at least one meal a day from the vendor, and we tend to do that with the nighttime meal because we get up in the morning, you can cook yourself breakfast or have a cereal or whatever, and your coffee, and then you can pot around. The music starts sort of just after lunch. So then coming into the evening, you sort of don't want to be back at camp cooking or...
Yeah, you want to be over there enjoying
stuff.
the atmosphere, so...
Once the music starts, so yeah, we tend to just get our nighttime meal from the vendors.
Firewood, you can buy firewood out there. It is advised to pre-order though. They also do ice. We'll probably drop the link in where you can pre-order your firewood.
Yeah, if you are on the Big Red Bash, travelling to the Big Red Bash page, they will notify everybody once their pre-orders are open.
Yeah. And
they do little packs with, 3 bags of wood plus kindling or 10 bags of wood, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can order it from them, and it's quite reasonable. I know there has been some issues the last couple of years with the quality of wood, but I have actually spoken to the wood supplier and he said they've rectified that this year, so it's all good.
And you don't have to have a fire pit to have a fire out there. You can have the fire directly on the ground, so don't stress. If you want to have a fire pit, then good, but if you don't have to, you can just make your own little fire on the ground in your campsite. The guy who brings out the wood and the ice also has like a little shop, I suppose. He has things like bread and long life milk, and I think he had marshmallows last time. He just has little bits and pieces of grocery items.
Yeah.
But the servo in Birdsville is also really stocked on that. Like you can buy steak and salad and lettuce. You can buy like whatever you want from that shop pretty much. Again, you'll be paying the high prices. But if you
run out, don't think you're going to starve out in the desert.
No way.
Yeah, Birdsville Roadhouse is pretty well stocked. Same with spare parts and things. They've got bits of oil, a few little car parts, but there's a hardware store in Birdsville as well, which you can do your gas bottles. They've got heaps of stuff. It's pretty much like a little country town light of 10 shop. So it's got a lot of different things, jerry cans. I think they even had generators and stuff there last year when I went looking. They had batteries, car batteries. So it's pretty well stocked. Bits of camping gear, your butane gas cylinders. I think they even had cookers and stuff. So yeah, if there's something that you desperately need, you should be able to find it out there anyway. Something to get you by.
Going back to the alcohol, you can't take glass away from your camp. So if you have like a nice bottle of wine,
outside your camp kitchen.
Outside your camp kitchen, you can't take glass away. Like you have to keep it in your camp kitchen. So anything in plastic or aluminium's fine. I just thought I'd mention that before I forgot. And taking your alcohol up to the main stage, Rolly and I we use like a backpack esky, so we pack our little backpack and we go up to the stage, and we just like to stand up there and watch what we want to watch and have a few drinks and then go back to camp. We don't actually take our chairs and stuff, but a lot of people line up and take their chairs and their eskies and their trolleys and set up there for the whole day, which is awesome if that's what you want to do. So just an easy way to get. You don't want to be lugging really big eskies if you're only going to be going up there.
And I'm not a fan of the trolleys. Like I know a lot of people use them.
We've seen a lot of people
sit there and we watch a lot of people struggle dragging the trolleys. There are some good ones and some bad ones. And
if you know of a really good one, let us know so we can let everyone else know.
Yeah, but if you want to take a trolley and you're looking at buying one, I would find one with the widest wheels possible.
Yeah.
And preferably not plastic. They be pneumatic wheels. Because they just, some of them little cheap ones you see people, they just drag.
They're just skull dragging them through the sand pretty much. The wheels aren't turning at all and they're just frustrated, and they've got all the camp chairs packed in there and the esky and all their food to go up to the stage, and you just see them struggling. That's where we're not into the trolley thing. So we've got like a June backpack, I think it is.
We just use a June backpack. We got a Yeti ice brick which works really well, and chuck it in there. You can chuck 10 beers in there or whatever, and off you go. And then we plan out what we want to see. Like we know what artists we want to be right up front to see, and what ones we're happy just to sit back and camp and listen to.
And you can hear the music from like all your camps. Like if you just want to sit back at camp or around your own campfire with your friends that you brought along with you and have a few drinks, you can hear the music. But of course, if you've got like your favourite artist up there, you want to be right up that main stage. If you're bringing kids, make sure they bring a boogie board, because they'll have an absolute ball going down that sand dune on the boogie board. It'll just keep them
Jackson
occupied.
reckons the body glove one.
Yeah, the body glove one from Anaconda would
is the
have
best
to be.
one.
He's run a few over the few years, and he reckons that one's got the slipperiest surface, and you get faster.
Get the most speed.
Yeah, get the most speed. But I suppose it depends how old your kids are. You don't want to send your little one down there flat out. But they have different size dunes, so little ones for the little kids, and bigger kids sort of get a little bit more adventurous. And walkie-talkies for your kids too. We found that very helpful. If you've got a group of kids and you're comfortable letting them go off on their own, if they're just going up the dune or whatever, we ran a walkie-talkie so Jackson
we also,
can contact us.
With that, we have a notebook that we put in our camp.
Yeah.
And like if we're going up to the stage, we'll just write on there the time. Jackson, we're going to the stage.
And if he comes back in that time,
and he can write his note like I've gone to such and such a camp that one of his mates said he's met up or something.
Yeah.
So just so you got that bit of an idea where they are
Jackson
as well.
he's turning 15, so he's a bit older, but obviously if you've got little ones, you're not going to be letting them run around on their own. But if you've got bit bigger ones or big cousins that can look after the little ones or whatever, that's a really good idea. And the kids, like, they've got lots of entertainment. The Crack Up Sisters do a good job entertaining them. They have their own shows, and they do things like dunny door painting, and then sand, like I think they do sand art and stuff like that. So there's a lot there for the kids, and it's all up on the app. That's the other thing. The app you download on your phone. If you've got the app from last year, don't think you have to re-download a new one. They'll let you know when it's active. They actually just leave it as if it's.
You just got to update it.
Yeah, just got to update the app, and that'll have everything on there, what's on when and where, and all the rest. Right, where are we up to? Probably clothes. So obviously you're in the desert, so it's going to be cold at night, but it can get quite warm during the day. So we usually pack layers. So we'll have, layers on. So if it gets a bit warm, you can take your jacket off and you still got like a jumper on, or something. Like one year we were down to shorts and t-shirts in the middle of the day, but then it cooled off again. It just depends on what version of Birdsville you're going to get at the time.
Last year we had
rain. So you wear like boots or mud boots, or something that's going to handle mud if it is going to rain. Jackson's a bit of a feral though. He just gets around in whatever, thongs or Crocs. Kids are pretty resilient like that. And it depends what kind of a season they have. Sometimes you get these little burrs. They were bad one year we went. Last year not so bad. So
if you take a dog, definitely recommend training them to wear little boots.
Yeah, because they get those prickles stuck in their paws. It's not fun for them. So obviously a warm jacket, a beanie, a big hat because it gets hot out there. Good comfortable closed-in shoes because you are going to do a lot of walking, so much walking. So just make sure your feet are comfy and they're warm. And just jeans, tracky pants, whatever you're comfortable in really.
Lip stuff.
Oh yeah,
What's
you
it
do.
called? Chapstick.
You get quite chafed lips out there because I think nighttime you're sort of standing around a fire, and then during the day if it's windy, like I find my lips get quite chafed up. I was using pawpaw cream, but I found that was almost it wasn't helping during the day in the sun. It was almost baking my lips, so I start using an SPF lip thing now to keep the sun off my lips, and that seemed to help. Just little things like that you don't sort of think of until you get out there. Where are we at?
Maybe let's go back to the Firewood too. Carry an axe, because they do have some bigger bits of wood in your pile, so you might need an axe to split it up, or just go through. If you're travelling in a group, another good thing is work out what everyone's bringing. Like, if you've got a group of 5 of you, you don't have to all bring an axe. So just talk to everybody and work out, okay, I'm going to bring this, I'm going to bring that, and go from there. It saves you on your weight, because also you want to make sure your vehicle's in a safe state to travel. So not just your servicing and stuff, but also your weights and legalities and that.
So there's obviously no showers out there. So if you're not in a caravan with a shower, the first year we went, we were in a soft floor camper trailer, so we didn't have a shower.
We had the portable shower.
But we didn't
end up using it. But a lot of people now can buy them portable shower tubs that catch the water, because you have to catch every drop of water.
You can't let any run on the ground.
To let it run on the ground. So, and with that, they have got grey water dump points where you can empty your grey water
From your sink, washing up sink, your
and
shower,
showers
and
and stuff, but you can't get rid of black water. So all your toilet stuff has to go back to Birdsville with you and to be emptied out in the toilet dump points in town. But there's toilets there.
So yeah, baby wipes and wet wipes is a must. Also, they have recycling out there for all your cans, and they actually donate that back, and that all goes back into the fundraiser. So so you can get rid of your cans and your plastic bottles. They also have little tubs around for your food scraps, but I'm pretty sure it's no meat allowed in there. It's just vegetable scraps from memory. All your other rubbish you have to take out with you. There's no other dump point.
And last year they gave us bags for the rubbish when we got our tickets. I'm not sure if they're going to do it again this year, but that was really good because they were good quality, like seed bags, which don't sort of like the plastic ones that you get from Woolies or whatever. They tend to rip at times. You've got to keep them for a little while.
So you take your rubbish, good quality rubbish bags and that with you as well in case that one's not enough for you. You can buy plenty of water out there, drinking water. So most of the food stalls will have bottled water. If you're worried you can't cart enough water to drink and shower and all the rest of it, you can buy your drinking water out there if you want to. Where else? What else? I think we've just about... Oh, cash. Bring cash, because a lot of the vendors don't have FPOS. If the actual main merch tent does take card, and one year we were allowed to withdraw cash from there as well, the first year, because we didn't know we had to bring so much cash. So definitely make sure you've got some cash with you for the food and those kinds of things. Yeah, I think I've just got my little list here on the phone. I'm just going through to see if I missed anything that we talked about, trying to tell you guys. But yeah, if there's anything that you're wondering about, the toilets. I suppose everyone's always interested about what the toilets are like out there. They are dump toilets, so you'll walk up, I think it's 2 or 3 stairs. You've got a nice toilet seat to sit on. You actually do your business into a wheelie bin full of sawdust. You'll take your cup with you, cup of sawdust with you. They have the big bags of sawdust outside before you go into the loo. They've got little cups and tins, and you scoop up your sawdust, take it in with you, do your business. They've got a nice little information board on the back of all the doors on what they do with all the waste afterwards, which is really interesting. While you've got something to read in there too. And I sprinkle your sawdust, and the smell does get a bit pongy some days, but when they change them and everyone uses the sawdust appropriately, it actually isn't too bad.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
And there's heaps of them, so you're not gonna find yourself stuck. There's so many toilets out there. So
toilet blocks in every second corner, I think. So.
Yeah, and there's obviously no power. You're not going to take your van out there and plug into power. That's not happening.
You can run generators. I think it's from 8 till 8 is the rule on generators. But you have to just check the app for that exact time. But yeah, you're allowed to run your generator during the day anyway. So
yeah,
if you don't think you're going to have enough power or solar, And once you're there, there's no moving your vehicle around inside the camping area. So once you're there set up, that's it. You can't drive away or go back into town. You can catch a bus back into town, which is another thing on the showers. There is showers in town. There's a big heap of shower blocks. I think it was $5 a shower.
Yeah, and I think a different community group from Birdsville look after it every year. I think last year was the Pony Club, I think.
Yeah.
And it was $5 a shower, and they have somebody there, and they sort of clean them out as you finish, ready for the next person. But they are really nice showers, like nice and hot.
And there's there's a shuttle bus that goes back into Birdsville a couple of times a day. So if you want to go, okay, well, we'll go back into town and have a shower, you can catch the bus, go and have your shower and do whatever, come back. So that's something else. And another option if you don't want a car to shower out there, if you're in a camper trailer or something like that.
Yeah, you can go back in and have a shower if you need to, but because it's so like cool out there, so it's cold most of the time, so you don't feel like you're getting all hot and sweaty and clammy. So baby wipes, I found that first year when we didn't have our own shower, they just did the job for me personally, but I know everyone's different about their shower preferences. Some like to have 2 showers a day, but yeah, you're not going to do that out there. But yeah, I think we've just about covered it all, haven't we?
Yeah, the other thing, like, just with if you're not wanting to set up and sit out at the stage all day, just go through the app, work out what time your favourite artists that you want to see are on, and yeah, you can just have a bit of a plan in your head who you want to see and what you want to do, and go from there. There's plenty other like activities as well, like the helicopter rides. They have the camel rides. They do the drag race, which we always participate in. So all your husbands out there and even the kids get involved in that, because it goes to a really good cause. You just got to dress up a little bit like a girl for an hour or so.
I think they secretly love it. I'm telling you.
And yeah, you raise some more money for the good cause. And they do the Nutbush World Record attempt.
That's a lot of fun. And the Blue Day they've started doing now. Last year they did the Blue Day where you wear your blue wigs and they make the map of Australia and try and break the record for that. And yeah, it's just...
And they do the yoga in the morning.
A lot of fun. The yoga was
we try
amazing.
And participate in as much of the fundraising as we can. We're involved with our BC paddock. We do a bit of fundraising through that. They have the world record book out there. They have different things where you can attempt to make a record to get into the record books.
Yeah, last year we had can crushing. How many cans did we crush in how many minutes?
40 seconds.
Oh, it was 40 seconds or something like that. And they had something to do with basketball. It must have been where you could make a hoop from how many metres. The kids had fun trying to crack that. Yeah, so there's something for everyone. It's so much fun. There's nothing else out there like it. It's amazing. And yeah, I just hope you are all excited like we are and getting your prep together, and hopefully this video has been a little bit helpful and giving you an insight of what it's like out there and what you need to take.
Yeah, but if there's something you just want to know and you can't find the information, just shoot us a message in the comments, and yeah, if we know and we can help you, we'll let you know.
Yeah.
So this will be our 5th year now, so yeah.